Hello, this is Jordan. This video is being recorded on the afternoon of Friday, August 30th, 2024. Thank you so much for tuning in. Weekly wrap up this week, back and forth week, which ended on the downside on Friday, the day I'm speaking. Before we get into the video, you can see my football tie. It's the start of the college football season this week, the NFL season next week. I'm a big college football fan. I don't think my Huskies will be as good as they were last year, but nevertheless, I'm still excited. And all of you out there, I'm wishing you and your teams the best of luck. Enough with that. Let's get right into the video. Okay, so we're looking at gold and silver, the daily charts here. Gold here, silver. Then we have the gold-silver ratio. I love this feature here on stock charts. I think it's the thumbnail feature where you can see the last little bit of trading. And we can see that today's action is a bit concerning. The last week or two, you kind of had back and forth action, white candle, black candle, especially the last half of this week. Ugly candle on Wednesday, but then a really good candle on Thursday, followed by an ugly candle to the downside. Same thing in silver. We can see that silver, the downside is even more pronounced because when precious metals are weak, usually silver leads to the downside. So in the very short term, this is bearish action, these candles. So then let's look at potential support levels. So looking at gold, we can see it closed at 25.58. I'm rounding up today. So as far as the daily chart, you have pretty good support right around 2,400. Also a little bit above it. We could call that just 24, 25, 24.30. So near 2,400, that's a support area we should be looking at for gold. And interesting, if you look at the gold-silver ratio, if this were to trend, so this closed at 86 today. If this were to trend up towards 90 and you had 2,400 divided by 90, that puts silver at 26. So silver closed at 29 today. It was a good monthly close. I tweeted about that, and I do have a monthly chart. Good monthly close, but looking at the daily chart, this 29... at this, I don't think it's going to hold. Based on this action right here, you have 29 support here. So I think there's more selling pressure to come. This probably pushes below 29. So how far down does this go? Maybe here you have some good support at 27, strong support at 26. So who knows? Maybe this comes back down. You make a higher low, maybe even a double bottom, and then you move up more. Perhaps this is weakness before the Fed cuts rates. I would love to see precious metals, if they are going to trade lower, do it now before the Fed cuts rates. So you'd like to see the market get oversold into what is going to be a bullish catalyst. And then the Fed cutting rates, then that would put the market, if it's oversold, in position to rebound. So short-term outlook for gold and silver, I think the weight of the evidence favors the downside over the next week or two as September starts. Same picture in the weekly chart. I mean, this is not the best weekly candle for silver. Last week, great. It moved above 29, reclaimed 29. This week, ugly candle, which, again, tells us that it's probably likely to trade below 29. So on the weekly here, you do have support in the 27s. So daily strong support at 26. Weekly, that support is in the 27s. As for gold, you can see this support here, just above 2,400. Not that negative a candle for gold, but nevertheless, when you have that kind of a candle for silver, and silver's been lagging, that tells us the market is not ready to really ignite or blast off. So still a bearish picture there. But let's look at the monthly charts. So for silver, you see the monthly candles here. I wish I could zoom in more. I need to get closer to my computer. But the good thing here is we can see that based on silver closing prices, there's clear support at 29 or a little bit below in the upper 28s. And so the last couple months, silver on a monthly basis, it traded below this level, but it closed above it. So that's the key. So the last couple months, silver's been able to close above 29, above this support, which I think is in the high 28s. And so we'll see in the next month or two, I would love to see a strong white candle. So September or October, the monthly chart, would love to see a strong white candle. Now, if silver on a monthly basis, if next month it breaks below this, then you're looking at a test of 26, maybe even a little bit lower. So it's good that silver's been able to hold this support. Yeah, I already said that. looking at gold, it's trended higher in the spring. You had these questionable candles, then this strong white candle here. And, this one, I mean, it was looking stronger until today. Same thing with the silver candle. So nothing too definitive. But this does remind me a little bit of these months here in 2010, before silver broke out. And I say that because you had this really good recovery in precious metals, late 08 into 2009. Silver had the breakout, gold broke out here, back tested the breakout, and then it was trending higher, pretty solidly, nothing spectacular. And so these 3 months here, 2 of them gold trended higher, but then the last one gold went down. Silver sideways, goes down the last month, but not that negative. Then both move up. Of course, silver breaking above this here, and then the next candle, I believe, took out what level is that? 1920 on a monthly basis. So the point is that I don't want to say it's really bearish that silver has kind of gone sideways to lower here while gold has grinded higher. In some respects, it can be, but gold's at a new all-time high. Silver's holding above this level. So this is one example where something similar happened. So I'm just saying, this doesn't mean silver has to break down completely, the fact that it's underperforming. So I hope that wasn't too confusing. Now, let's wrap up by looking at the stocks. Here are the monthly candle charts. Is this a breakout for GDX and GDXJ? Probably not. It has to be strong. It has to be definitive. Just because it closed above it here, to me, that's not really a real breakout. It could be, but not definitive enough for my taste. But it was, in monthly terms, this was the highest monthly close since August of 2020. And so this is actually the 3rd highest monthly close since the end of 2012. The larger point, though, is even if we get a little pullback, the miners, and this includes GDXJ, they're still in position for a big breakout here above this line. Silge has more work to do. There is some resistance at 14. Huge resistance here at 18. So ultimately, over the coming weeks and months, we should see the gold stocks will break out first, and eventually silver juniors, they'll be carried higher. And then later on, they should make this big breakout above this resistance at 18. Now, let's look at the short term. So, we could see some short-term weakness in the sector. Looking at the stocks, okay, where are the support levels? So here's GDX. And here's the 200-day exponential moving average. And so that's coming up. You do have this strong support here. This one here at 35. This one above 36. So close at 38.62. Maybe it could sell off a little bit more, dribble lower. But above 36, should see some strong buying come in here. Same thing for GDXJ. I think it at 43 or in the low 43s. That's a good support level. Closed it, call it 46. We can round up. SILJ, that could close just below 12. Has support at 11 and 11.50. So I think if the market will remain weak over the coming days, these are some support levels and buy targets to be looking at. There you go. That's the update for this week. I hope everyone had a great week. And, hey, we've got a holiday weekend coming up. So I hope you all out there enjoy Labor Day. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Is this market going to correct, or is it going to blast higher in September? I'd like to hear what you have to say. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you guys again next week on Monday. We got the monthly wrap-up with Professor Vinny. Talk to you guys again in a couple days.